that AI business you're thinking of starting, it's probably going to fail. You should do it anyways. Sounds harsh, right? But here's the truth. Any side hustle you start is probably going to fail. At least the first version of it. Maybe the second too. You should start it anyways. I've started the same AI business 3 times. The first time around, we had a spike of interest. 9,000 people signed up for the free trial. Only 200 ever paid. Bulk of the revenue, about 10 to 15 clients. Maybe about $2,000 in total money made. That's not very much. The lesson, of course, is don't offer a free trial until you've built your conversion loop. Many people are just curious, which is okay, but they won't actually use it. They definitely won't pay to use it. On the second go around, we doubled down. We knew that a market existed, but we knew we'd also made mistakes. So I had a new team, I had a new technology architecture, burned about 150K doing it. Wrong hires, wrong focus. In retrospect, we thought take one had failed because we couldn't scale appropriately, and there were good reasons why, but that wasn't really the problem. The problem was we didn't convert well enough, and when we did convert, we didn't retain. We were distracted by vanity metrics like signups, not focused on customer behavior, made mistakes in the people we hired, boom. Take 3. So that's what I'm working on now. It could fail too, but this time we're doing things quite differently. We're listening more, we're asking better questions. We've had some wins, but that's a story for another log. I like to think we've learned a lot. Now, the point of this video is to talk about something that's a bit hard to talk about. I gave up a great job on a prestigious desk in, I was in finance. If you are, you probably know what I mean by a desk. And when the first time around it didn't really work, some friends disappeared. I get it. I'm not that useful anymore. But it's still an interesting experience when it happens at a personal level. Many relationships are transactional, and you're going to have to learn to be okay with that. But while take 1 and take 2 was happening, and I was busy losing friends and having doubts about what I was doing, what was all actually going on? I was working really hard to keep the lights on for me and my team. Helped a friend with an aerospace startup for a couple of years, co-hosted a short-lived podcast. I took a number of consulting gigs. I built tools for language learning, which was actually really interesting. Did whatever I could to survive. Why does that matter? Because survival is the first rule of business. Stay in the game. The odd jobs weren't just a lifeline, they were a filter. They taught me which clients I wanted to work with, what kind of work was meaningful, who to avoid. In hindsight, I saw people making obvious mistakes, ones that I'd made myself. Other times, I couldn't necessarily connect. It isn't necessarily always about ego, it's also about just fit, and that's okay. I helped where I could, and I didn't take it personally when people failed or went a different way. That's just business. Not everyone is meant to stay in your story, and you're not meant to stay in theirs. Putting it all together, were all of these failures? Maybe, if you're measuring in millions. But every one of these kept me, my business, and my team alive, and I learned a hell of a lot. Here's the things you are going to learn. You're going to learn how to build a website. You're going to learn how to get a client to pay for something. Even better, you might learn how to get them to pay for it twice. High ticket is great. It'll keep you alive. Low ticket gives you surface area for luck, for the universe to sort of work its magic in your favor. Be shameless. Talk about what you're building. Don't worry about NDAs and all of that unless you have a really good reason, right? No one cares about your idea. They care about whether you'll actually do it and what your execution looks like. It was a thrill when in Take Go we had this notification that would ping every time someone signed up. Waking up to 50 signups overnight feels pretty good, even if most of them never paid, right? So there are a lot of wins and losses here. What I'd like to leave you with, however, work a job while building your business. Side hustles are good. Often the compare and contrast, where you can see what you're doing and when you can see what someone else is doing, it's super helpful. If you have a job already, or if you're working full time, try and angle to something that you can do part time so you can work on your own thing on the side. Your first litmus test: can you pay other people, even part time, while still paying your own bills? Right? That's the simplest thing. Charge once, don't worry about subscriptions. Just get the experience of building something, getting someone to pay for it, and getting feedback. Getting paid is good feedback. If you can get them to pay for it twice, you're starting to learn. And believe in yourself, because no one else is going to. The world can't see belief, it can only really see results, and that's okay. But you have to believe in yourself even when no one else does. Start that business, even if it fails. The only real failure is never starting at all. With starting a business, you have a realistic shot at living the life you want to live. But the even better outcome is sort of you become a different person. You learn the things you were meant to learn. So yes, that AI business is probably not going to work. You should start it anyways. Thanks so much for listening.